I was a late developer when it came to potty training and remained in diapers until I was about 5 years old, particularly during nighttime. Bedwetting was a chronic issue for me throughout my childhood and teenage years. My mother tried various methods to help me stay dry at night, but nothing seemed to work. Unfortunately, the medical profession wasn't very helpful during that time, often suggesting that I would eventually outgrow the problem on my own. At one point, I did try using a bedwetting alarm, but because I was such a deep sleeper, it didn't wake me up in time, resulting in soaked beds and a disrupted household. Consequently, it was considered futile. I faced chastisement, ridicule, and punishment for my constant bedwetting, but none of these measures proved effective. It wasn't until I reached the age of 15 and visited the doctor again that I was referred to a continence nurse, who provided some practical assistance to my mother, even though there was no cure for my condition. Finally, I received a properly fitted bed cover and was given some ill-fitting blue disposable diapers. Although they were not the best in terms of quality and often leaked, it was better than having no protection at all. I wore them at night until I finally achieved dryness in my early 20s. Even after reaching adulthood, I still experienced sporadic episodes of bedwetting. Sometimes it would only happen occasionally, while other times it would persist for several consecutive nights. However, when I turned 50, my bedwetting returned with a vengeance, and I am now back to wetting the bed every night, necessitating the use of diapers to help protect our bed. I was eventually diagnosed with nerve damage related to my diabetes, which likely contributed to the reoccurrence of my bedwetting. Fortunately, my wife is understanding and supportive, and it doesn't bother her as long as I don't wet her side of the bed. We continue to sleep together without any issues. Brennan.
During the day, I also struggled with daytime leaking issues, which meant that I had to rush to the bathroom 15+ times a day, always on edge and worried about accidents. To mitigate the risk of damp pants, I wore thick, training pants, underwear with plastic pants underneath my regular clothes. It was an extra layer of protection that I hoped would keep my pants dry and save me from embarrassment. At school, I always made sure to have an extra pair of pants readily available because leaks were an unfortunate occurrence. Despite my efforts to manage my condition discreetly, there were times when leaks were inevitable and having spare clothing became a necessity to maintain my dignity and avoid unnecessary attention. As I entered high school, I was granted the option to stop wearing my nighttime diapers. Optimistic about this newfound freedom, I eagerly embraced the opportunity. However, it quickly turned into a disastrous experiment. Night after night, I would wake up in the middle of a flooded bed, my sheets soaked and my sleep interrupted. I would hastily place bath towels over the wetness, desperately trying to salvage some comfort and cleanliness before returning to sleep, only to find myself soaked again upon waking. It became clear that the decision to forego nighttime diapers was a grave mistake. Frustrated and exhausted from the constant disruptions and discomfort, I eventually made the decision to return to wearing diapers throughout the day and night. It wasn't until I was almost 30 years old that I finally found a wise and understanding neurologist who conducted a comprehensive urodynamic study. This study unveiled the root cause of my persistent bedwetting and daytime leaking issues. I had a neurogenic bladder, a condition that had likely been with me since birth. This revelation provided a much-needed explanation for all the struggles and challenges I had faced throughout my life. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I fully embraced the reality of my neurogenic bladder and the need for 24/7 diaper usage. I opted for high-quality disposable diapers during the day and comfortable cloth diapers at night, tailored to my specific needs. This shift allowed me to reclaim a sense of control and freedom from the stress and anxiety that had plagued me for so long. Knowing that I had reliable protection in place, I no longer lived in constant fear of accidents, and my self-confidence began to flourish. Now, incontinence has become nothing more than a minor issue in my life. I am immensely grateful that wetness does not cause any skin irritation or rashes. With the right support and understanding, I have learned to manage my condition effectively, and it no longer defines me or limits my experiences. I have come to accept and embrace my unique circumstances, understanding that they are just a small part of who I am as a person.
Well, for me, my wedding problems started when I was 13. My parents had just recently divorced, my ADHD was playing its part, my PTSD was a problem but yet hadn't gotten way out of control. That wouldn't happen till I was 17, and the nightmares were causing bedwetting due to being purely scared p-less. And the last issue was the physical abuse going on at the time from my dad, who was an abusive drunk, by bullies at school and by the special education staff. Anyway, the wedding started out shortly after my dad got his own apartment and custody of me and my brother. It started out only 1 to 3 times a week. But soon it was every day. At first I was just washing my clothes in the washer we had in our apartment. So I was able to keep it secret as my dad worked a lot, so I was often left home alone. I would have told my parents, but I was terrified of being hit and punished over it. My brother was punished with diapers and hit for his bedwetting till he was 9. So I didn't want any of that. So I decided to keep it secret. After 6 months or so of daily washing of sheets, I was in the dollar store getting some soda and happened to walk down the baby aisle toward the front of the store and noticed diapers. I decided to give them a shot. They were extra large toddler diapers. I got home and found they just barely fit me. But because of how cheap they were, I would have to get up in the middle of the night to change them, as they wouldn't hold up all night in the same diaper. And at 4 for $1, they were something I could afford. But as I said, I was afraid of my dad finding out. He found one diaper once and called me into the living room. He was screaming at me I better not find another foo ******** ing diaper. I am not raising another foo ****** ing baby. He threw the diaper into the trash can and sent me to bed. So I continued to wear diapers in secret. My mom got custody though when I was 16 and things got more difficult. She was around home more, so I had to get smart at sneaking diapers in and out. I only got caught a handful of times. We were living in a small motel room, so wasn't a huge supply of hiding places. There was a large room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. So since the bathroom had a window, I would hang a plastic bag with a diaper in it off a nail, and then when I went in the house I would open the window, pull in the bag and hide the diapers in the bathroom. I would put a diaper on right before getting into bed, and in the morning would stash the wet diapers till I got home from school. Then I would hang the wet diaper out the window in a bag, and swap the wet diaper with a clean one and swap them out later. It worked well for the most part. But as I said, my mom caught me a few times finding diapers in the bathroom and threatening, if I ever find diapers again, I am going to throw them on the front lawn and tell everyone they're yours. It just made me work better at hiding my diapers. And the need for them picked up shortly later when, during an incident of abuse, I was left paralyzed. I regained the ability to walk, but was left with nerve damage causing severe pain and made the wedding much worse. Not to mention the worst of the abuse went on from age 16 to 18, which caused the PTSD that I was able to handle and made it 10 times worse, and along with the nerve damage, the nightmares also did its part to make the wedding worse. Then in early 2000, age 20/21, I began having trouble with daytime wedding accidents. What started out as small accidents once in a while and urgency soon was daily accidents, leaving me with no choice but to go to wearing diapers during the day too. And at this point, still living at home, I couldn't hide the diaper use anymore and broke it to my mom what the diapers have been around since I was 13. She thought I just had a diaper fetish. She didn't know I was having wedding problems. And she at one time thought I was faking bedwetting to justify wearing diapers until she saw the prescription for the diapers from the doctor, which you can't get without having a legit wedding issue. Since then, I have been in diapers 24/7. And as the years have passed, I have continued to lose bladder control. And as of last year, decided to say screw up and went fully urinary diaper dependent. In all, it was only 1-2 more diaper changes per day to go fully urinary diaper dependent. So wasn't a huge change to my daily system of diapering. And so, kind of a long story, that's been my basic history/battle with bedwetting. Stanley.